Firstly, a word on attire. Ben Smith with us. Wore the shirt earlier this week, I know that, but we've had an aggressive washing game in ours this week after Glastonbury, and I've got to shoot off to London later on, so that's why I'm wearing this. Also, me and Ben have got basically the same shoes on again. We've had this before.
We've done it before.
Uniform, could you see them in shot there, Sean? No. What have we got to do here? What have we got to do to make this work? Is that working? Yeah. Excellent stuff. All of our dignity goes out the window. You've been really skittish in the office this morning.
Have I?
Yeah, that's why I've asked you to do the video. I thought you needed something to think about.
Well, it's nice to have a focus, isn't it? First day back at school for all the players as well, isn't it?
Well, that's what it's felt like first day back at school, because it is first day back at school. They're back tomorrow, all doing the business. They're all flying in, and I'm going to give you names and what chance you think they're still in Liverpool's squad on the 1st of September.
Yeah.
Out of Balotelli to 10. So the first one is Balotelli.
Yeah.
First one's Balotelli. Okay, the second one, Luis Alberto. I think it's interesting, Luis Alberto. Supposedly the manager likes him. I don't know if this is Liverpool doing noise to sort of try to bump prices up.
Yeah, I think he does like him, but I don't think it's any better than a 5 or 6. He's been there a long time now, hasn't he? It's been...
And he's so slow.
Yeah, he's just not quick enough. So I would say no better than 5.
No better than 5? Okay, the next one is Markovic.
That's to be decided. I think at the minute I would have it at about 6, but I think he has potential to stick around. I think Mane coming in is obviously not going to do him too many favours, but I don't think there's a brilliant chance of him being there. But I guess it depends. You know, he'll be given a chance. He's going to be given a chance.
What the manager said, going back to March, he said something like, "We haven't got enough wingers." Yeah. He didn't just say one. He didn't say we haven't got a winger. We haven't got enough wingers. So I wonder if the idea is, you know, if you've got the option to almost have Markovic deputised for Coutinho on one flank, Lallana deputised for Mane on the other. So at least you have the idea that at least you'll have an out ball between one of them.
I think with Markovic, I genuinely don't think a decision has been made to get him back out there again.
He's come back early as well.
So he's back early. He's keen to try and you know, prove himself in the front of the manager, and the manager's keen to give him a go. So let's see what happens in the next few games. We've got lots of games, more games than they've had in pre-season since Houllier, probably.
Yeah, it's 9, isn't it? 9
so, you know, I think I reckon, you know, by a month from now, by the beginning of August, I think I'll have a very good idea whether Markovic is anywhere near where he needs him to be.
Okay. Other one. Who's the other lad who's come back? I've just got up my piece of paper here, but I've forgotten it. The other thing to point out is the triple training sessions, which I think are fascinating. Set from 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. The man's name is Korn Meyer, who's coming in from Bayern Munich to do this for Liverpool. Yeah. And it's worth pointing out that Klopp said after Hennick's Bayern Munich team does the treble, Klopp says that he couldn't believe how fit they were to the bit of every game, going to the end of every game, until the very end of every game, until the very end of the season in order to do that treble. He's
a man with a huge reputation, a lot of respect within the game. And obviously, when you see this kind of thing coming into a team, there is a concern that can they deal with it? Are they going to die in December? Is it going to hit them in February and they're going to fade like you know, Arsenal do every season? But I think Klopp has always done this, certainly with Dortmund. This triple training sessions in pre-season is something he believes he needs to do with the players to get them to where he needs to be. And we saw it at times, certainly early on, didn't we, when he was in, how quickly Liverpool... the injuries that happened, the problems they did with fatigue because of the intensity of the football. So I think it's a great thing. It's going to be fascinating to see.
It's the fixtures just sort of nail it on, but also I keep saying this on shows, and I'm going to keep saying it, that if I said to you right now the top 4 next season will be Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United and West Ham, you wouldn't be surprised. And that's 4 completely different teams. And I think that this is a season where hitting the ground running is going to be absolutely huge. Agree. You know, if whoever whoever gets that self-belief, who gets that momentum, pulls away, or maybe 2 or 3 that might pull away from the pack, but then it's a 2 or 3 horse race going through the season.
And I think, you know, Liverpool's fixtures at the start of the season are particularly tough, so that
likely to be 3 aways as well.
Well, exactly, and I think it's so important that they get that right. I think we've all been keen to see how Klopp will do. We've given a bit of time to really inject his players with this philosophy and the intensity he wants to play with. So I'm fascinated to see how it works out. He wants to use each of these games really as an extended training session, not so much as a game. He doesn't care about the results against Tranmere next Friday. He wants to see what he's putting into practice on the training field. He wants to see it played out on the field, and I think that's a great philosophy for it. But don't be surprised if we see a few more signings. You know, they're still trying to do Chilwell, who's a little bit expensive at the minute, having only played... Has he played a Premier League game?
He's played 6 of them, I think.
He's played, he may have had 3 starts. I think.
Something like that.
Dahoud is still on the radar, but I think looks unlikely now. Zielinski, I think that's more likely. I think that's kind of 7, 8 out of 10. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of activity in that way in the next week or so.
And Benteke to go.
Yeah, I think that's nailed on.
I think if anything should tell a story about how much players are going to cost this summer, certainly internally in the Premier League, if Liverpool somehow recoup something in the vicinity of 30 million for Benteke from Crystal Palace, then that really does tell the story of this is how much these lads cost. This is what par for the course is now.
30 million for Troy Deeney. You'd have said that a year ago. We would be falling about right now laughing if we'd have told that a year ago. So, Benteke for 30 million to Crystal Palace is certainly a conversation West Ham are interested in as well. So
there we are. That's everything that we need. That is your daily roundup here with the Anfield wrap. Huge thank you to Ben for doing this. I'll let him go kick the ball around the office a bit more, which is what he's been doing.
And if you show your Brogues in Liverpool, you get 50% off all products. Really, I think we could.
All the products. See you soon.